lot of realtors are walking this way, and I'm just going to ask if they know how to house homeless veterans. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
No.
No.
Okay.
I sadly do not.
I do not, but I would love to learn.
I do not.
I do not, but I would like to know how.
The answer to that is no.
No. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
I do not.
I do not.
Do you know how to house a homeless veteran?
He's a veteran and he would be
Come
homeless
here.
if I did not house.
Oh, look at that.
We're here at the Capitol, Illinois State Capitol. This is the lobby day for Realtors. And I did make an announcement on the bus about my 3-hour course that I wrote to teach Realtors how to work effectively with a homeless veteran. Just because the veteran is homeless doesn't mean they don't have resources to use to get housed or to get anything else they need, because they do. But how do you get to those resources to help that homeless veteran get housed? I've got the class, and it'll be out soon. I need to just update that video because the book is already out. So this is the book. I did teach this class as a 3-hour, hey Angela, as a 3-hour, what was it called? Let me see. I forget what it was called. I forget. The word will come to me later, I'm sure. So I taught this class in the community once, and I'm like, okay. And the class was also approved by the IDFPR and approved by, approved as my book and the class. So anyway, it wasn't enough. And talking with realtors, and if you all don't know, I am also a realtor, and I'm a realtor who likes to house homeless people. I started off housing homeless emancipated youth and moved up to housing seniors, and then I found the senior veteran community and was housing all those veterans in wheelchairs and walkers and canes. It was phenomenal. And then just started meeting other veterans and just started housing all the veterans and never went back to any other population of renters or buyers. Now, some buyers will get in because they were referred to me by a veteran. But other than that, my specialty is veterans housing from homeless to home ownership as a realtor. I'm a licensed realtor and I house homeless veterans. And this is the blueprint to teach you how to do the same. Because my colleagues would ask me all the time, Yvette, how do you get paid? I'm like, well, how does any realtor get paid? Really, how does any realtor get paid? What do we have to do? Yeah, we got to go show some places, but in essence, we have to create a transaction, and we have to create a transaction that goes to a closing or a lease is created. That's how we make our money, right? So I'm like, I don't see what the problem is. What's the problem? You can't rent a unit to a homeless veteran with resources. What's the problem? These homeless veterans with resources have either a voucher, that's the HUD-VASH voucher. This is ours here in Chicago. They have over $900 million that's circulating in our community to use. I mean, this money, and then wait, this is the low income money right here, because this money is used for veterans who have low income. But then you have those veterans who have income through their jobs, through their disability, through their pensions. and they can buy a house. And that's this book right here. So you have veterans who can do everything just like anybody else. But hold on, I'm trying to find y'all this book over here. Oh, you can just see it right. Oh, here it is. I'm on 4 platforms. Two devices, but 4 platforms. So this is my 3rd edition, Veterans. Oh, let me turn this camera around here for y'all over here. Okay, that's more professional. So this is my 3rd edition, Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. I use this book I use the knowledge in this book, put it that way, for 13 years, well, actually 22 plus years at the VA and at the vet centers. Y'all can see the same pictures in a moment over here on YouTube. All right, here they are. This is what TikTok is looking at right now. So this is a picture of me and my team in 2024 at the Jesse Brown VA. And then the next picture, oh wait, they can't see that picture. Anywho, so then the next picture is at over here for you guys, is at the vet centers. Here it is. Is this the vet center picture right here? So I would take a team. First, it was just me. And I'm like, okay, these veterans need some place to live. They need some place to go. Because as a former homeless female veteran myself, I know what it takes to get housed. I had to get out of that. I had to get out of it. It took a long time. But the time that it took me allowed me to learn everything I know now to come back into the community to teach everybody. It's been 22 years of me being in this veterans homeless community, housing over 5,000 homeless veterans. And a lot of them eventually bought houses because we work with them. I have a team. I help you create teams wherever you are. And hold on a second, because these are my books right here that I wrote for the community. Now, I've been in this community for 22 plus 23 years this year. It'll be 24 years next year. So these are the books I wrote right here, so people can learn. Because what I do, even though I wasn't here publicly telling anybody, because when I did write a class back in 2014 to teach realtors how to work with Section 8 vouchers, because a lot of our veterans received the HUD-VASH voucher. They were like, well, I'm like, oh, just give it up, please. This voucher, first of all, HUD-VASH is a federal benefit by the VA. This is a federal benefit. You can go to va.gov/get started and go to page 67. And on page 67, it says that HUD, Housing Choice Voucher, rental assistance, is a collaborative program, first of all, pairs the HUD-VASH voucher with case management and supportive services. So you've got two organizations together working. 2 organizations, not just one, but 2 organizations working together to help house these homeless veterans under this federal program. And there are laws. I got to get my other paper to read it to tell you. Let me get it because I didn't memorize it. Hold on a second. Where's my notebook? Here it is. Oh, that it clearly states that with this voucher, you shouldn't do certain things because these people, and I was one of them, but I ain't even have a doggone voucher. I was just out there. But these voucher holders have more protection than the industry is given. And nobody is saying anything. So what prompted this was, and how I found these laws protecting veterans with vouchers and other funding, is because this is the second female veteran who was terminated out of HUD-VASH because of these actions, operating requirements right here. So HUD-VASH operating requirements, and these are some codes under the federal guidelines and Virginia codes, designed for veterans unable to pass traditional private market screening. So these screenings, they can't violate any other screenings that you do, first of all. So I would never, ever, never ask a realtor or property management company to do anything outside of what they normally do, because then now they are discriminating against the one they're not doing it for. So they don't want to have 300 people suing them just because they didn't do it for this one person. However, you don't have to use that to deny the application of this homeless veteran with the voucher. And then just go and research the code some more. Go to HUD-VASH, HCV / just Google it and find the HUD-VASH. Just put in codes protecting homeless veterans under HUD-VASH and other funding like SSVF, supportive services for veteran families. So I wanted to talk about, oh, by the way, my name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am an Army veteran, and I was a homeless Army veteran and a battered wife by the hands of my then actively serving Marine husband, right? So I kept running away, going to the VA for help, and there was nobody. They're like, we don't have any programs for you. We have no benefits for you. And as a young veteran, I didn't have any social skills. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any benefits by the VA at that time. So I was just stuck in a battered home with nowhere to go. If I did go somewhere, when I did run away for my safety, I was homeless. I mean, nobody wanted me. It was rough. And I went through that from 1987 to 1993 until I got my college degree and got a job that could pay my way. So I had to go through all of this stuff to be right here, sitting here, to help others get out of the situation. So I'm still working with 2 female veterans who have been terminated out of HUD-VASH. And one female veteran is 72. Let me play that video. A senior living in a tent in Virginia. She received her voucher in April of 2025, started applying, and every time she and her caregiver would apply, they would get denied. Oh, my camera's up there. So they would get denied because of what? Credit, work history. In her case, they were looking for work history. She's 72. Who's trying to go to work? She spent 15 years in the military. She was a police officer. She owned her home that was free and clear. Somebody came and swindled her out of it. So now she's homeless, goes to the VA, January, February, March, April, then gets a voucher. May, June, July, August, 4 months later. So that's 8 months with the voucher before she meets me, who I'm like, wait a minute, you have all of these people, your case manager and social worker, and all of these realtors in Charlottesville, Virginia, and there isn't a single apartment, condo, or house. This is unbelievable. There's no realtor who can advocate because they don't know how to talk to investors outside of a credit check, income barrier. They don't know how to use the voucher, background check, work history, inadequate work history. You're talking to a 15-year Army veteran. What's inadequate about that? She's 72 now. Her application was denied. Then she did another one that Tunnels to Towers paid for, and that was denied. So since I've been working with her, everybody has been denying her. She's been received 2 denials since I've worked with her. A third one was coming, but they're like, well, we're not going to accept it because our rent is $1,995. Her voucher is $1,901. So because it took her so long to look for and not find a unit in Charlottesville, Virginia, her voucher was terminated. So now she's still homeless with no way of paying rent, even if she was to find a place that would accept her voucher. It's gone now. So that's where more advocacy comes in. So people who tell me, Yvette, I want to house homeless veterans, I want to put them in rooms. I applaud you, I really do. But working in this homeless veterans community takes more than just a room. So hold on, I got a book for that. Y'all saw my library. So this book right here, oh, here, y'all can see it. Innovative Housing Solutions for Homeless Veterans. And this book was released as a top new release on Amazon and in the United States military history category as a top release. So go ahead and grab this book, because this book right here, it walks you to funding sources with the government and with this $900 million. So this money right here. So y'all can come back and watch it if you like. But we talked about HUD-VASH, that's this money. And now we're going to talk about this SSVF funding. And this is another way, as a realtor, I got paid because I know the funding sources that these veterans have access to or can gain access to get housed. So as a realtor, that's some of the money I used. The HUD-VASH, the SSVF, and where's my other book? Veterans Home Buying, along with all of those workshops over 22 years, 13 years at the Forest Park Vet Center. But everything that I'm telling you is not to brag or boast, because that was a lot of work. I had a heart attack while I was, and then the next day after the heart attack, I was on the phone negotiating one of the veterans' houses that we were under contract or going under contract. I had to negotiate her house, and we got under contract $3,000 less than asking. The seller would pay all of her closing costs. And because she was service connected at 70%, She went in paying no taxes and owing no taxes because in Illinois, our taxes are paid in arrears. And she got that tax money back, minus what was owed before. And that was the day after I had a heart attack. Found out who she was when she came to one of my workshops at the Jesse Brown CRRC. I'm like, girl, that was you. She told everybody. But what I'm telling y'all is this. Everything I do, housing homeless veterans, and I've been doing this for 22 years. Hold on, I got something else to show you. I have a VA badge. It's a volunteer badge, which allowed me access to VA premises because I'm badge carrying. This one expired June 2025. So I never came out to the public after I wrote that class. Before I wrote the class for the for the realtors in 2014, I didn't share with them because they didn't want to hear. They were like, oh. And then I didn't talk to them again after I taught the class. So now I'm out here in the public telling y'all that I'm here for you and the benefits that you will get following me if you're not already following me, or the benefits that you would get reading my publications, because it's a lot of what I did in 22 years that y'all didn't even know about. I mean, I didn't think y'all cared, because I said, if I could do this, why can't anybody else do this? So here for lately, I just got to thinking, but God gave this to you. I'm like, oh yeah, but it's duplicatable, and it's in these books. So just go to my bio and read the titles, which are descriptions of what's in the books, and that'll guide you to whatever it is you say you want to do. This has been a wonderful place to be, housing homeless veterans. As a former homeless veteran, that's me in the picture at 19 in boot camp at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, surviving every single day military sexual trauma. Not every day, but the looks, and then the actual doings of it, and then the intimidation, and then the actual doings of it, and then the scorns, and it just got exhausting. It was exhausting. And I was so young. I didn't know nothing. So that put in me the will to do what I'm doing in the community. And then to have to go back home to poverty. I grew up in CHA housing in Chicago. Wonderful family, mama and daddy, 9 brothers and sisters. And it would be 9 of us with my extended family in a 4-bedroom townhome. We call them the dog houses, and 1 bathroom. So I got to learn early how to use a pee cup. Always rinse it out. Make sure it's clean for the next person. You know how everybody ate out the same pot. Well, not actually eating out. We ate the same thing. In other words, we didn't have mama wasn't a short order cook, so she wasn't in there cooking 3-4 different meals. I would complain because I was a real picky eater, but she said, well, go make yourself a sandwich. I'm like, can you just not put so much okra in the black eyed peas, mama? So I would have to some nights just eat a fried bologna sandwich with some cheese and mayonnaise. But so I'm just saying that because all of that shaped how I got here today, housing over 5,000 homeless veterans and working with, a couple thousand investors who are also in my book. So you could read the letters that they wrote and working with all of these organizations. I get emails and messages saying, Yvette, that's my name, by the way, Yvette. Yvette, I've been emailing the social workers at the VA, and I've been going to see them at the VA, and they're not referring any homeless veterans to me. You mean to tell me there are no homeless veterans in my city? This is what I'm reading in my emails, and I'm like, first of all, that's not their job. If I tell you how many homeless veterans these social workers are sending right back out the door, how many of these homeless veterans are sleeping in what's called the white clinic at Jesse Brown VA and every other VA hospital around this country, and you have homeless walk in upstairs. And they don't even, they come downstairs and they have to walk past the clinic in which the homeless veterans stay, and they go to the store, they go wherever they're going, and they come walk right on back. And these homeless veterans are still sitting there. And I got to thinking one day, all these social workers upstairs, and none of them come downstairs to do an assessment or an intake to find out what other organizations in the community they can refer these veterans to based on what they're telling them. I mean, they can actually do that. How else do you think these homeless veterans get to $900 million of 411 organizations in the United States and Guam and Hawaii? This is $900 million. 411 organizations have received over $900 million. It says this the fiscal year 2026, the grants for just this packet right here, and the ones who are in my group have received this packet. You can get in my group by buying some books, because I don't even have a conversation with you if you don't read my books, because then you want me to tell you what's in the books, and I'm not going to do that. So this money for fiscal year 2026, the grants will fund local organizations as they help veterans access housing and housing counseling, healthcare, financial planning services, childcare, legal assistance, transportation. So for those of you who keep saying you want to do veterans housing, you're not on this list. This is the list with $818 million. And then this is another list with $84 million. So altogether, it's over $900 million of 411 organizations. So when you come on to the market with all of your units and you say, well, I want to fill up my units, where the veterans at? They're all tied up in this $900 million because that's what this money is used for. Then your next question should be, well, how can I find out who those organizations are? Because that's the money you want to attach your veteran shared housing with. If you have a vacant unit, then you want to share that unit with HUD-VASH. So how quickly do you want the money? That's another question. The money is out there. The veterans are out there, but your business is not aligned with either. And that's my specialty. So I have all of my publications in my bio over here on YouTube. I'll start and ask me 19 questions over here on YouTube and everything. Are y'all asking me questions over here on TikTok? Hello. Hey, Tarita. We had a good consult today. How to go to my bio and buy some books when you leave this live. Can you discuss how we offer services to veterans at how as you go buy my books and then you come to my group? No, so I'm not going to discuss that. That's in my books. Yeah, we did. Oh, then I had another one. My next client in Virginia, not Charlottesville. I mean, the plan that I was reading when we were on the phone, and he had like all of these demographics on the plan. I broke that down. So if he accepts my my proposal, he would have a book like this. Well, not this title, but his can be a book, an extension to veteran shared living models, because we're actually building out his model if he accepts my proposal. If he doesn't accept my proposal, then he can do it himself, which is a lot. Because I was an instructional designer, and as instructional designer, I worked with subject matter experts. I worked with experts in their field, like plumbers, electricians, architects, and they came with an idea, and we want to do this and this needs to be here. And so I really had to design the book with all of that information. And this is before AI. And then we had this book is not AI. This is what I'm teaching you. This is what I did for 22 years. It's some portions of there in it though, just to fluff it up. But back then we didn't have that. We had to put these books together, these publications together for the ICC, the International Code Council, where all of your building codes are created for the international world. That's where I was designing and creating these books. That's why it's so easy for me to do these, because that was part of my profession. So hold on, let me answer some of these questions over here on LinkedIn. From Joan, somebody, I can't even pronounce that. Truly inspiring. Do you think more cities will adopt these strategies? I hope they do, because otherwise, and that was something else I wanted to talk about, all of this money. Who said that? What? Nice. I don't have a haircut. And then somebody said, I have a nest for birds. Why do people want to come on and just act silly? Somebody said, what? Okay, let me see. Tara Dupree. Hey, Tara. I got you, girl. Hi, Miss Yvette. I have a home. I am interested in doing shared living. Okay, Miss Elaine, go to my bio on LinkedIn, and this is the book that you would get, this Veteran Shared Living Models. And I don't know if you've ever worked with veterans before, and if you have not, there's other publications to teach you to do that. And when you do purchase the book, send me the verification so that I can, my camera's up there, I keep forgetting, so that I can add you to my private group where you learn more about the industry. It's an industry for real. Thank you for the hearts. And thank you for that. I am interested. I think I read that one. Yeah, I did. I am interested in renting my rooms to veterans, but I need to, oh yeah, you got to get the book and learn first. Thanks for sharing. How do we educate more landlords about veteran programs? You know what? I'm glad you said that because I have a master class that's coming up to educate more landlords nationwide. Oh, my sister in here, she said that's so sad. Yeah, that they lost their will your book have resources? Honey, it's not just the book. It's not just the book. Get the book first. Do step one first. It's a whole process, a whole program. You can't just jump. Get the book first. Great information. What is the biggest misconception about veteran homelessness? Oh, you know what? I have failed to mention to you all. I am the new subject matter expert writer for Mission Roll Call. I am the homelessness and veterans housing subject matter expert. So go to Mission Roll Call if you are on LinkedIn and also YouTube. Follow on YouTube. And my first article is coming out. And then I already did 2 more. I'm so excited. How do you get your book? So go to my bio. Oh, you know what? I can probably share a link right here. Yeah, I'll share a link right here. Oh, I got it right here. One moment, please. I'll put it in. Where am I? Okay, I'll share your referral link. Yes. Oh, wait, that's something different. Wait a minute. That's the referral link to get this program. So I just shared my link to my bookstore. So you can click that link to my bookstore. Okay, truly inspiring. Do you think more? Okay, I read that one already. Oh, I'm very grateful I met you. I know, right? Me too. Thank you so much. That's Tarita. Tarita, did you send me your label? I want to see it because we already had that conversation. Hold on. I'm okay. Thanks for the breakdown. How can new agents join the mission? They can get the book. They can get the book entitled A Realtor's Blueprint: The Veteran's Path to Home, Navigating the Journey from Homelessness to Home Ownership. Get that book. And they can also get the 3rd edition Veterans Real Estate Buying Guide for Today's Market. It's a lot of information in this community. And in 22 years, I haven't even shared everything in these books. It's so much to know. Love your passion. What real change have you seen in the last year? Real change. More money. But that's not a real change. That's always happened anyway. We haven't lost any money in this community. I'll get back to that another day. Fantastic episode. What's the easiest way to start helping veterans locally? Get my books and read and start learning. Amazing clarity. What role do nonprofits play in scaling this work? They're the ones who are getting the money to house the homeless veteran. They're the ones who are holding the bag. So you got to learn how to be in their group to get the money, and that's what I teach you. Great episode. How can we speed up the housing placement process? Get my books to learn. That's the easiest way to do it. Because it's not like, oh, you just do this, you do that, you do that. Now you're done. No, you're done. Man, I don't know why people want to jump over. If I say I've been doing this for 22 years, you think I learned everything I know in a day? No. So one question, how do I get this off of here? Let me get this off. Oh, here you are. Get out of there. So I'm I'm a new writer, national writer for Mission Roll Call. So follow Mission Roll Call on LinkedIn and also on hello and also on I gotta remember my camera's up there. on YouTube. So my good friend, since I was out of the military, did I meet her when I got out? Yeah, I got out of the military and then she went into the military. So now we're both grown adults, and we're meeting to celebrate my new position as a national writer on homelessness and veterans housing. So that is all for me right now. I have 5 more minutes. So if anybody wants to say anything, go right ahead. If you have not liked to share to follow me, please do so. And thank y'all so much for the hearts. Keep tapping. And over here on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, if you have not already clicked to follow me, please do. And you know what? Since I started, I had a class. Oh, Tarita, this is what I was going to show you. But we didn't do the Zoom. This was my class at the VA Ostabu office over the summer. And the reason I am here, this was a 6-week cohort. And about 4 weeks after that, where we were actually learning to present our class to buying agents within the VA and various departments. So anywho, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, well. That happens. We'll follow and catch you next time. All right. Thank you so much. Go to YouTube and follow me over there too. So I got a little dressed up. I had on this camel all day, and I just put the little bling on top of it to give it some pizzazz. I saw another lady, she's 60 as well. I'm 60, by the way. And she layers her clothes. And I'm like, ooh. So that's why I added this as a layer and a belt. Yes, because the zipper broke. I had a pen. I might put the pen. It was a decorative pen. So I chose the belt. Here's the outfit. I chose the belt. I might put the pen back. Yeah. That's what I'm wearing today. Something like that. Okay. So thank you all for being here. And I'm glad y'all care. Somebody has to care about these homeless veterans and all this money out here in these organizations. That's another thing. That's what I was going to talk about a little bit. So in 22 plus years, I have run across some organizations that are no longer in existence because of mishandling and mistreatment of veterans, mishandling of the finances of the grants that they receive. Oh, I don't even want to tell y'all that. And also mishandling. So, and also mistreating, put it that way, mistreating the veterans. There's certain things you can't do in this industry. I've been here 22 plus years, and I've seen agencies come and I've seen agencies go. One agency I'm like, oh, that's like embezzlement. You got to pay this money back to the government. So, yeah. So the way I teach in my publications and also in my group is how to do things ethically, responsibly, respectful, compassionate, loving as a business. All of that and your business. Because you cannot be in the veteran space and not do the right things. You're going to get caught up with that. So the way that I teach you and my partner, and you can follow him, Derek Green, CPPO, Gov. Wait a minute. Dang, I got to write it down. GovCon Nation. No, just write down Derek E. Green, CPPO, and follow him on YouTube and on TikTok. he connects after I get you set up in with your housing and program business, then he gets you connected to the money. Because you can't do this business without that. And once the way, I mean, it's just perfect. You're set up the way the government can pay you. And you become one of those providers on that $900,000 list or whatever it's going to be by the time you get set up. But don't come talking about how long is it going to take. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Because there is no time that we can give you. Remember, it's up to you, your work that you have to do. And then the government has to do work too. I've got 14 certifications, federal, state, and local. Some of them are on the back of my books, right? But 14 certifications. I remember I had applied for I forgot what it was, woman-owned small business, or I forgot. And I got an email like 11 months, 12 months later to tell me, I'm good. But all that time, I'll send this. We're checking this out. So there's no rush and there's no timeline. The timeline is just getting in what you're supposed to get in. That's it. So in the military, they told us sit down and wait. Okay, it's going to happen when it happens, but sit your butt down and wait. So I got to go. It's 6:00. I'm about to go and enjoy this evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5:15 Central. We'll go get some books and learn. Thank you.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.